There are two candidates vying for votes in Cathedral City's District 2, Nancy Ross and J.R. Corrales. I spoke with both of them about why they're running and the issues that matter most to them. Nancy and J.R., thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Let me start by asking each of you to tell us a little bit about yourselves and why you're seeking office. Nancy.
So I moved to Cathedral City a while ago, many years ago, 5 years ago. I don't know if that's many to other people, 5, 6 years ago, I guess now. And I started attending city council meetings about 4 years ago. And I began attending different meetings and arts commissions and planning commissions. And what, after I heard, hundreds of people come and speak to these different commissions and to council, I realized that my voice was a voice that wasn't being heard. Not that it's a unique or bizarre voice, just one that I thought I could add a different perspective to council. I have a lot of experience in governance. I thought I could bring something substantial and something valuable to council, and I hope that that will be the case.
J.R.
I think my name is J.R. Corrales, and I've lived in Cathedral City for about 32 years now. I went to elementary school, middle school here, and also went to high school, and I've started my own business here. I'm not a politician. I'm a businessman and a family man who has decided it's time to step up and do the right thing and run for council to help the next generation move forward. I feel city council, just like Nancy says, feels we need to have more representation on it as far as the demographics are concerned. And I want to run because I want the city council to reflect what the city looks like as well, with its diversity.
Okay. Let me ask both of you, in your opinion, what are the top 3 issues affecting Cathedral City? And if elected, how do you plan to address those issues? Nancy.
Well, nobody can get away from COVID. That's going to be everybody's 1, 2, and probably 3 all in one. This has hit us, financially, economically, and psychologically. Those of us who are old enough to have remembered grandparents or great-grandparents who lived through the Depression, it affected them for the rest of their lives. They always were frugal. They were always a little cautious about how things are. And I suspect that this is going to be similar in many ways. This isn't something that has a 6-month fix behind it. Some people say, come November 4th, it'll all be behind us. I assure you it will not. And so we have, wonderful entrepreneurs in our city who have had to close their businesses, and what's going to happen to them. And kids who have ostensibly lost a year of education. They've done distance learning, but it's not the same as in-person and in-class learning. And we have families who, because childcare is so expensive, have had to not go back to work themselves so that they can be home with the kids. It's really been, and that doesn't even address the 220,000 people who have died in our country. So this is a serious scenario that we have never seen in my lifetime. And I'm a little older than JR is, so I guess he could say in his lifetime too, for sure. So, we'll be working on making sure our people are safe, making sure our businesses, those that are open can stay open, helping those that couldn't stay open, maybe boosting them into opening back up or finding a new avenue for them, finding jobs for those who aren't employed, and making sure that our children are safe going back to school. That's no small task. That's 2 years of work right there. So you asked 1, 2, and 3, that's it. But the city also has other things to do. We need to continue moving forward with our Ophelia Bringas Bridge, our other infrastructure programs that are already going on. We have some exciting things happening in the city. We have the veterans low-income apartments that are just breaking ground this month. We have the senior low-income apartments on Landau that just broke ground in October. Those are 2 huge projects that are really going to be a big advantage to Cathedral City, and we need to find ways to continue to support them. So although COVID is, like I said, it seems like 1, 2, and 3, we're going to have to find a little piece of ourselves, of our brains, of our initiative to be able to work on other valuable projects as well, because we just can't leave the rest of society behind. Thank you.
JR.
Well, yeah, well, absolutely. This is one thing I do agree with Nancy 100% on, and that is the fact that COVID is not going to go anywhere. We need to continue to listen to our scientists and to our county representatives and our state representatives and federally. With that given said, that's a little bit out of my extent. So what we feel we need to focus on is why I originally decided to run and be a part of this. And the platform is that we have to really focus in on our city infrastructure, and we really need to set a percentage of our city budget to fix our roads, to fix our neighborhoods, to fix them up. We have to take care of Cathedral City first. That has to be the top priority. I agree, and I feel like we need to build relationships with our citizens and our first responders. There isn't much that we can do nationally. I'm not here on a national platform. I'm here solely for the city of Cathedral City, and I truly believe that by setting our infrastructure, a budget specifically on that, building a relationship with our first responders and our citizens, and then more or less also building an open council with its citizens to work on with its current council to make sure that all their voices are heard and to try to make Cathedral City the best possible place to be in, to raise families, to retire in, for all the demographics.
Finally, what is the message you want voters to hear, and why should they choose you versus your opponent? Nancy.
I have a lot of experience. I've been working with nonprofits, with coalitions, working together in collaborations, both locally, statewide, and nationally for 30 years. I know how to bring people together. I know how to make hard decisions. I know how to help bridge the gaps that will get us through these hard times. And that doesn't come with some form of arrogance. It comes with knowledge. I've just done this so many times that I know I bring a good amount of information, and I guess trying to steal the word infrastructure, not the kind of building infrastructure, but collaboration infrastructure that will help us guide through the next 4 years. We just can't let COVID define who we are. And I think I know a path forward.
JR.
I just want the city to know that I am young, I'm 38 years old. I bring a different perspective than anyone else on the council, simply because I was raised here. I know everyone around in my neighborhood. I know I'm in contact with people. I built a business here. I didn't grow up and leave, go anywhere else and decide to take care of some other city. I stayed here. And at the end of the day, I stand with the fact that we feel we need some more diversity in our city, and we need council to represent that. I understand experience is a big part of it, but at the same time, I feel that there's already council members up there who have plenty of experience, and it's time to add a little diversity to that. I'm very adamant about that because I feel the city needs to represent who its citizens are, and by having someone on council that is a little younger, who brings a little bit more passion to the group, is definitely a step in the right direction to help our city move forward.
Okay, JR and Nancy, we appreciate your time. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having us.